Hi, it's Rob from Game Developer Studio. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use the GDS Editor app to edit this wood tile set and create a tile set that fits perfectly into your game. So I've already got this tile set on my hard drive, so I'm going to open the app. We can open the app from the navigation bar on the website. Let's launch from here. Okay, so let's get started. As I said, I've already got this on my hard drive, so I'm going to start a new scene and I'm going to use the load scene file button. So it's important to use the load scene file button here because there's scene data that will be useful. So let's load the scene file, and I've got the wooden tile set here. If you don't want to do any editing, this tile set contains PNGs on sheets as well as separate PNGs. But in this video we're going to use the editor to manipulate the tile set. So we need to look for the editor file. Let's open that. And the wood tile set GDS file. So this is a GDS file. Let's open it. And there you go. The GDS editor will create a new scene for us and load the file into it. The tile set's composed of 3 different parts. So if you don't want the planks on the background, you can remove it and just have a simple flat color. The first thing we're going to look at is changing the color of the beams around the top. So we can change color with the color slider. We can access all the color filters available to us. So if you want to pick a color and blend, you can do so with the color filters. If you want to target these little nail heads, you can target the nail heads and change the color of those. We'll leave them as they are for now. Let's reset everything. As well as targeting the nail heads, we can use the art object properties on the tile set to turn off the nail heads entirely. And if we don't want this shadow, we can also turn that shadow off. So I'm going to leave them both on for now. As well as the shadow, we can increase and decrease the outline. So if you want to reduce this tile set to something like 64 pixels by 64 pixels, you might want to change the outline, the outline weight. We're going to reset that for now. So as well as the outline weight, we can use GDS Editor to target specific colors. For example, if we want to change the color of this outline weight, we can open up the color scan and it will display all the colors associated with this component, the wood tile set top. Let's pick the stroke colors. Let's pick this, see which one it is. That's it. So from here we can change the color of the stroke to any color we want. Again, if you don't like what you've done, we can use the reset button to reset back to the original color stroke. Okay, so with those, you should be able to get it to fit into your level. Let's take a look at the wood tile set bottom, which is this sheet. If you find that there's too much detail, the first thing we can do is drop the opacity. So you can fade this in and out to change the detail, or again we can access the color functions of GDS Editor, maybe change the saturation. So using the GDS Editor tool, you can pretty much change this to anything you like. Let's change this shadow, which is a stroke, so let's open the strokes. Let's select the component, select the shadow, no, that one, this one. Let's set it to black so it matches. And that's how you can manipulate the tile set. The reason that we loaded it as a scene at the beginning is because this tile set contains associated slice data. So I've gone ahead and added slice data to this set. So if you don't want to include the whole PNG or the whole texture in your project, you can slice it and extract just the tiles that you're going to need. So the slice data for a scene, because these are multiple components, we're going to be slicing them all at the same time. The slice data is associated with the scene. So to access the scene slice data, we'll go to Scene Settings and the Scene Slice. So I've already made some slices for you, and I've named them, and I'm going to go ahead and slice them to a new scene. So we'll use Slice to New Scene. Slices will be flattened pings after this, so after slicing you won't be able to access stroke weights, so it's important to get the balance of your tile set before you slice. So let's slice them all to a new scene, like so, and as you can see, we've got a new scene, and now the tile sets are sliced. And if you look closely, you can see that each tile has been named and separated for you. So you're free to pick the tiles that you need. Maybe you only need these tiles, and then we can delete the rest. If you want to lay the tiles back out, you can put them on a grid with the G key and snap them back into position. Like so, and that's ready for exporting. Another useful feature about this specific tile set are the fill variations and the edge variations. So I'm going to go ahead and slice this to a new scene to show you what I mean. Let's slice it to a new scene again. So if we look down here, you can see that I've provided extra fill variations. Let's grab this tile here. For example, when you're making your levels, you don't want every edge to look the same, as you get an obvious repetition throughout your levels. The same goes for the fill. If every fill is the same, your levels can become bland. So I've provided at the bottom of the tile sheet some extra edges and some extra fills, so you can go interspersing them randomly throughout your scenes to add a little bit more interest to your level. That way you can break up the repetition. So there's about 5 or 6 fills to add. Just to break apart how much each tile repeats. Now you don't get that boring individual single tile repetition across them all. So because this is GDS Editor, the idea of the app is to be able to bring in assets and modify them directly so that they blend well with all the other assets in your scene. So to show you what I mean, let me delete these. Now that we've got an example platform, if we go to our library, let's bring in some bolts, some nails and some bolts. We can start adding these to our platform and blending them to make them work. Let's turn the grid off so we can see what we're doing. Let's make a few little bits and bobs to go onto our scene. I'm not going to spend much time on this, so just to keep the video short. But the point of the app is to adjust your artwork so that it works exactly with the rest of the scene. So when you shrink an asset, the stroke weight gets really thin. Let's pop that behind. With a thin stroke weight, it won't match the rest of the art. So we're just going to tweak the stroke weight just so it fits in. Same goes for this one. You'll have to use your own judgment when balancing. Let's get rid of those for now. Let's add some ropes. I'm going to import these into a new scene. I don't want them polluting the scene that I'm working on. And let's just grab this and this and maybe this. I didn't select them properly. Let's go back to our scene and paste them into our scene. And once again, we can start manipulating them to make them fit very quickly and very easily. This one might not fit so well on there. No, we're going to need a smaller rope for that. Let's have a look. We can use the rope from the wood pack. This has got some rope. So instead of copying and pasting, I'm going to select all this and I'm just going to add it to my inventory so that I can always access this without having to import it again. Let's go back to our work and let's open the inventory. Now I've got some bindings in my inventory. Let's grab those. I was in the wrong scene. Oh no, I'd imported it into a new scene. That's a better binding. Now with my wood pack in my inventory, let's just search for some wood. Maybe I can import this and this. Oh, this is bringing it into a new scene because I'd selected new scene. Let's unclick that and bring it into this scene. So I'm going to use this here. Maybe we can create an effect here. Maybe you could add this to your tile set. As you can see, they're a different color, so let's fix that. Let's open the color, let's get this, the dropper, and let's see if we can bring it just a little bit. I'm going to bring the saturation down and put the luminance down a little bit. That's better. Let's cover that rope. Let's make it a bit bigger. Again, I don't know if you can notice, depending on your screen, on the screen contrast setting, this stroke is actually a different color to this stroke. So I'm going to go in and fix that. I'm going to scan and I'm going to select the stroke, and I'm just going to select this and select that color there, and that's made it the same color. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. Okay, so I've got my additions. You probably want to spend more time. As I said, I'm keeping this short just for the sake of the video. So now I'm going to extract these, ready for my game, and I'm going to export them, export the components in the selection, and it will export a zip file of those components that you've got. I'm not going to bother saving it. Another useful feature of GDS Editor tile sets is their intercompatibility. if we have another tile set from the site, for example this tileset 2, which is a GDS Editor tile set, so you've got to look for the GDS Editor tag up there, you'll see that the fill and the top roughly, loosely match the fill and the top in the wood tile set. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in tileset 2, and I'm going to change the planks at the back for the tileset 2's fill. So here we go, let's load in tileset 2. It also has a GDS Editor folder, so I'm going to bring in the GDS Editor file, and there you go, it's put both the top and the fill. So let's move this over to here, and we'll have this behind. Let's delete those, and let's grab it, and let's set its position to the top left, 0, 0, so it has the same position as this one. And there you can see that it matches the same pattern as the tile set, the wooden tile set. It doesn't fit perfectly because you've got some extra tiles down at the bottom, but roughly you can create different tile sets. So again, we can adjust the color, and we have access to all the other features of this tile set. So we can change our colors on an individual basis, and pretty much manipulate this the way we need it. And because we've imported it into our scene slice data remains, so we're ready to slice anytime we need the tiles. And there you go, our brand new tile set. So with the GDS Editor tile sets, you can make quite a number of different tiles by mixing and matching them. So I hope this video showed you how you can use GDS Editor to combine assets and make something new that will fit your game, fit your project, regardless of your project style. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more GDS Editor tile sets. Goodbye.